Are you inspired by the men in uniforms fearlessly defending India's honor in various parts of the country and across conflict-ridden zones and terrains? If your answer is yes or close to being a yes, then take a relook at what the paramilitary forces have on offer. With growing concern for domestic security, there is a lot more opportunities open for those aspiring to be in the paramilitary forces. These forces were set up to protect the internal security of the country as well as support the defense services in securing the borders of India. All paramilitary forces function under the purview of Ministry of Home Affairs. On the other hand, the Army, Navy and Air Force come under the Defense Ministry. And all the paramilitary forces have different components and roles. Majorly, it has two-tier structure. The first called the Central Paramilitary Forces and the second the Central Police Organizations. While the former works with the Indian Armed Forces and the second one works in collaboration or independently with the Indian Police Force and the federal agencies. Apart from being India's internal security by patrolling the Indian borders from the northeast to the Thar Desert, the paramilitary is also being deployed for diverse roles such as ensuring fair and peaceful conduct of elections, protection against terrorists and Maoists, VIP protection and providing help in the midst of a natural calamity. While a career in paramilitary forces is sought after because of its perks and allowances, getting in is not a cakewalk. Aspirants need to fulfill physical fitness and mental aptitude criteria and appear for written examination conducted by the UPSC. It thus becomes important for us to know, just like the Indian Army, Navy and Air Force, these paramilitary forces are now considered to be one among the most sought out career options in growing youth of the country. In this session, I will discuss in a many more detailed way about all the different paramilitary forces of our own country, and also I will discuss with you about what is actually the Central Armed Police Forces Assistant Commandant's entrance examination that is being conducted by the UPSC. So, without wasting any time, as I told you that I have to introduce to you about these armed forces. When I am talking to you about the Central Armed Police Forces, then I am mentioning to you about all of these 7 most important armed police forces. The CAPF, it refers to the uniform nomenclature of 7 security forces of our own country. And what are those 7? They include the Assam Rifles, National Security Guard, Central Reserve Police Force, Border Security Force, Central Industrial Security Force, Indo-Tibetan Border Police and Sashastra Seema Bal. Now, if you are applying for the Central Armed Police Forces Assistant Commandant's examination, then you are applying only for that AC posts that are included in only these 5 most important paramilitary forces. Okay, now getting into the Assam Rifles and National Security Guard is a different stature, but if you are writing through a UPSC entrance examination, then this examination will be only for these 5 most important paramilitary forces. Before I have to introduce to you about what is actually the CAPF AC examination. This is an examination for the gazetted officers. These are not soldiers or common policemen. They are officers in the Central Reserve Police Force, Central Industrial Security Force, the Sashastra Seema Bal, Border Security Force and Indo-Tibetan Border Police. That means in the CRPF, CISF, SSB, BSF and ITBP, all of these 5 paramilitary forces to get a gazetted officers into these, you are writing this examination known as the CAPF Assistant Commandant examination. Okay, this will be conducted by UPSC only once a year. That means in 1 year, only one time this examination will be conducted, and every year approximately 3 lakh aspirants apply for this examination, and the aspirants include both male and female. That clearly indicates that even if you are a male or a female, both males and females are eligible to apply for the CAPF Assistant Commandant examination, and this examination is an online examination. Okay, so now I will first briefly introduce to you about all of these 5 most important paramilitary forces. We will discuss in a very short and in a very crisp way about these 5 paramilitary forces, and then I will explain to you about what are the highlights of the CAPF AC 2020 examination. That means the examination for this year, because in 18th of August 2020, we got the notification about the Central Armed Police Forces, the Assistant Commandant examination. So, the highlight I will discuss with you about all of these 5 after I discuss all these 5 paramilitary forces. So, we will begin with understanding about the Central Reserve Police Force, also known as the CRPF. CRPF is India's largest Central Armed Police Force, and it came into existence as Crown's Representative Police on 27th of July 1939. But later, CRPF Act was passed and then it was converted as this particular name known as Central Reserve Police Force on 28th of December 1949. Okay, 246 battalions are there. They include the 208 executive battalions, 6 Mahila battalions, 15 RAF battalions, 10 Cobra battalions, 5 Signal battalions, and 1 Special Duty Group, 1 Parliament Duty Group, and many more training institutions and numerous hospitals are coming under the CRPF. That is the reason why I have said that CRPF is known as India's largest central armed police force. To get in detail regarding this one, the mission of CRPF is to enable the government to maintain the rule of law, public order, internal security effectively and efficiently, to preserve national integrity and promote social harmony and development by upholding the supremacy of the constitution. Understanding? So these are very important points for us to understand about what are the main mission and the goal of the CRPF. The main motto of the CRPF is Seva or Nishtha, which means service and loyalty. The main goal of CRPF is that it has to maintain the internal peace and security, it has to preserve national integrity, and it has to promote social harmony. In all of these areas, the Central Reserve Police Force would be a fort bearer in the coming up future. Okay, now let us understand about the next important paramilitary force, and that is about the Central Industrial Security Force, also abbreviated as CISF. CISF was set up under an Act of Parliament of India on 10th of March 1969 with just a strength of around 2,800, but now the strength has been gone through many lakhs. Okay, CRPF was subsequently made an armed force of India by another Act of Parliament passed on 15th of June 1983. A compensatory cost force this one is, and CISF is the only force having a dedicated fire wing. CISF has 12 reserve battalions, 8 training institutes, and 63 other formations. You can see how large it has become until now. Regarding much more detail of the CISF, it provides the main duties of the CISF are, it provides a security to the strategic establishments that include the Department of Space, Department of Atomic Energy, all the important airports, the Delhi Metro, all the important seaports and the ports, the historical monuments and the basic areas of Indian economy, which include the petroleum and natural gas, electricity, coal, steel and mining, some private sector units that are very important on the government issues, and also some of the important government buildings in Delhi, all the important protected persons which are classified as Z plus Z, X and Y, all of these are protected by the Central Industrial Security Force personnel. Okay, the motto of CISF is Samrakshan Evam Suraksha, which in English translates to protection and security. Going through with the next important paramilitary force is about the Border Security Force, also known as the BSF. We are receiving many inputs regarding the valor and the patriotism that is being shown by the BSF soldiers every now and then in the borders of the Pakistan and Bangladesh. So BSF is India's primary border guarding organization on its border with Pakistan and Bangladesh. Okay, so it is world's largest border guarding force and is the first line of defense of Indian territories. It is established on 1st of December 1965 and it guards India's land border during peace time and preventing the transnational crime. Okay, to get in detail regarding BSF, that it has grown exponentially from few battalions in 1965 to 186 battalions with a sanctioned strength of 2,57,363 personnel, including expanding air wing, marine wing and artillery regiment and even commando units also. BSF has its motto as Jeevan Paryant Kartavya, which means duty unto death. Going through, we will now understand about the Indo-Tibetan Border Police. These are also known as the Himveers of our country. Himveers means these are Himalayan warriors. That clearly indicates that all of these personnel are expert in the mountain warfare. ITBP was raised on 24th of October 1962. That means that time we were having a very strategic relations with China and they were not as better at that time. So we have raised the ITBP to have protection from our side. It was raised on 24th of October 1962 and is deployed on border guarding duties from Karakoram Pass in Ladakh to Zachep La in Arunachal Pradesh, covering 3,488 kilometers of Indo-China border and manning all the border outposts on altitudes ranging from 9,000 feet to 18,700 feet in the western, middle and eastern sectors of the Indo-China border. To understand in detail that ITBP is a specialized mountain force and most of the officers and men are professionally trained mountaineers and skiers. Okay, being the first responder for natural disaster, ITBP force has been carrying out numerous rescue and relief operations across the country. The motto of ITBP is Shaurya, Dhrudata, Karmanishtha, which means valor, steadfastness and commitment. Now we will understand about the next important paramilitary force and that is about the Sashastra Seema Bal or SSB. Now there is a story behind this that after the Kargil War was in the year of 1999. We had a Kargil War at that time. After that particular war, a committee was set up. The committee was known as K. Subramaniam Committee. According to the report that is submitted by that committee, it considered by a group of ministers for relocation of all paramilitary forces to achieve optimum efficiency by assigning one border for each force. That means if there is one important paramilitary force will be guarding one sort of border. Indo-Pakistan border will be guarded by one paramilitary force. Indo-China border will be guarded by one paramilitary force, and all the other Indo-Myanmar border will be guarded by one paramilitary force. Like that, one border will be guarded by one important paramilitary force. It was conducted and it was considered and it was given in the report of the K. Subramaniam Committee. Regarding that particular one, after the committee's reports were taken into consideration, there was a Special Services Bureau that was declared as a border guarding force on 15th of January 2001. After the committee report that has been taken up from K. Subramaniam, they renamed the Special Services Bureau as Sashastra Seema Bal on 15th of December 2003, and SSB guards into Nepal and Indo-Bhutan borders. So, Sashastra Seema Bal is indicated to completely secure the Indo-Nepal and the Indo-Bhutan border, all the border areas that are underlying through Nepal and Bhutan. Okay. To get in detail, that on 19th of June 2001, SSB was given mandate to guard Indo-Nepal border, and on 12th of March 2004, it was given a mandate to guard the Indo-Bhutan border. Both of these are very, very important, and both the ways it is declared that the Sashastra Seema Bal will be the lead intelligence agency for all of these areas that are guarding the borders of the Bhutan and Nepal. The motto of Sashastra Seema Bal is Seva, Suraksha, Bandhutva, which means service, security and brotherhood. Now that you completely understood about all the 5 important paramilitary forces and that you understood that you have to be a part of any of these so that you can serve the country in a much more better way, I would like to give a very detailed understanding about the coming up CAPF Assistant Commandant examination. Assistant Commandant is an important gazetted officer type of post, and if you are applying for this particular post, it is very important that you have to score considerably well and good in the written examination, and this is the notification for the written examination. It was released on 18th of August 2020, and the examination will be conducted by the Union Public Service Commission. Vacancies are released that 78 vacancies are there in the Border Security Force, 13 in CRPF, 69 in CISF, 27 in ITBP and 22 in SSB. In total, you have 209 vacancies. For these 209 vacancies, there are around 3 lakh aspirants apply each year. So you have to be very, very careful and you have to make yourself as much better and prepared as possible. The age limit for this examination, all those candidates who have their age between 20 to 25 years are eligible to apply. To get in very, very detail regarding the age limit and the educational qualification, I request you to go through the age limit session also, that is particularly made from our side from SSBCrack exams. You have to be graduate to apply for this examination, and this application should be done only by online mode. Already a special session regarding how to apply for the CAPF AC examination has been done from our side. Examination fee is 200 rupees and both male and female persons can apply. The selection procedure would be that you would be going through the written examination, then a physical test would be there and interview also will be there. A detailed session also being done about the selection procedure. You can go through that session also. There will be 2 papers. The notification date is 18th of August 2020 and the application will be closed on 7th of September 2020. You can even withdraw your applications. The withdrawing of applications would be from 14th to 28th of September 2020. Admit card will be released 3 weeks before exam and examination will be conducted on 28th of December 2020. This is the main deadline that we have until now. That is it regarding this most important session. In the coming up session, we will discuss in a very more detailed way about the examination pattern, the age and the educational qualifications, the selection procedure, the detailed syllabus coverage, expected cutoff marks, all the important study plans to adopt, and many more important sessions will be done from our side. And I hope that all of those sessions will be very, very helpful to you. So that is it regarding the complete overview about the CAPF AC examination and the paramilitary forces that you are applying for. If you are a staunch aspirant of the armed forces, I strongly recommend you to download our Android app from Google Play Store and subscribe to our courses, whichever suits best to you. We have made many important questions and verbose content from our side that will be definitely helpful in your examination. Please join the family and stay motivated. Always work smart with zeal and enthusiasm. Jai Hind.